First, there's heavy political comment with heavy language to match, as the gadfly comedian Mark Thomas talks us through his life in serious organised crime.
Sorry, we're just doing a bit of Radio 4.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Could you tell us what you got on your sign?
I'm saying that we just need to be careful, we need to recycle. As you can see, I've gone for the very minimal placard, just saying, say yes to placards made from 100% recycled material, which this definitely is.
Hi, I'm Mark. Thank you for coming along. Tonight's show is about obsessiveness and the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act. The bit of the law that was introduced in 2005 that was designed to get Brian Hoare, the peace campaigner, out of Parliament Square. The law says, as soon as this law is given the royal assent and passed, anyone wishing to demonstrate in Parliament Square and its environs needs to get permission from the police prior to demonstrating. And anyone who doesn't can be arrested. Now, that was brought in. Brian Hoare's lawyers were brilliant. They went to court and they argued, well, you see, Your Honour, the thing is, the law says that as soon as the law becomes law, then anyone wanting to demonstrate needs to get permission. However, Brian Hoare has been demonstrating prior and continuously from the law becoming law. Therefore, it doesn't apply to him. And some batty old judge went, no, you're absolutely right, it doesn't. And so, from its very inception, the law was flawed and challengeable. Meanwhile, the rest of us have to get permission if we wish to demonstrate in Parliament Square and its environs. So, what counts as a demonstration? According to the police, one person with a banner in Parliament Square is a demonstration, and you need to get permission, in effect a licence to demonstrate from the police. My friend Sian, who's lovely, she's like an anarchist Mary Poppins. Because she wears all these lovely sort of like old Edwardian sort of dresses, but they're all pink with anarchist A's around them. And she was having a picnic in Parliament Square. And the police came up to her and go, right, move, or we're going to have to arrest you for having an illegal demonstration. She said, no, picnic. The police say, no, illegal demonstration. Sian says, doilies, tea kettle. Picnic. Police say cake and point to one of her Victoria sponges. One of her Victoria sponges has the word peace iced upon the cake. And the police deemed her cake to be a political cake. And that she therefore required 6 days prior permission from the police before exposing said cake via the Tupperware seal to the public arena. I thought any law that means that we can be arrested over a cake, we must play with. But rather than just go, boo to your law, we defy you, and get arrested and all of that, why don't we try a sort of British way of doing it? And sort of go, right, we need permission. Righto, let's apply. So I started to apply for permission to demonstrate last year. My first demonstration, I get a letter back from the police, and it reads, Dear Mr. Thomas, I, Superintendent Terry, do hereby authorise your demonstration, calling for the abolition for the need to get authorisation for demonstration. And I thought, we can play. So I started to go along to Charing Cross Police Station, where they have the special events unit. And I've started to apply for more demonstrations. And I've got to know this police officer called PC Paul McAnally really very well over the past sort of 9 months. I wouldn't say we were mates. But we might play football Christmas Day. I go into Charing Cross Police Station with my forms to have the demonstration and see PC Paul McAnally. Right, Mark, let's have a look. What have you got here? You want a demonstration to defend surrealism. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I can have a demonstration about anything I like. Indeed, you can. I just didn't know surrealism was under threat. I said, it is. He said, how so? I said, because we have a government of paradox. We have a government that seeks peace through war and protects civil liberties by eroding them. This is a paradox. This is absurdism. Absurdism is the enemy of surrealism. Ergo, surrealism is under attack. I said, I wish I'd never asked. 3 days later, I'm at the Hay-on-Wye Literary Festival. And you know what I'm telling you is true because I've just admitted to why The phone goes. I pick it up. Hello, Mark. It's PC Paul McAnally. Just to phone up to let you know that we're giving you permission to go ahead with your Defence of Surrealism demonstration. Oh, that's fantastic. Are there any conditions imposed upon the demonstration? Because the police can impose conditions. They can limit the number of people on the demonstration, the number of banners, and also the size of the banners. So they could say, 2 of you, 1 of them 2 inches. Instead of the bigger banners now. I said, are there any conditions imposed upon the demonstrations? He said, no. Were you expecting any? I said, no, I was just asking. He said, the police on the day can impose conditions on the demonstration if, during the Defence of Surrealism, you do anything silly. We had a great day. It was a fantastic day. We got in contact with some of the relatives of the original founders of the British Surrealist art movement and said, can you come along? And they said, no, we can't come along ourselves, but we'll send some objects to represent ourselves. So we're standing in Parliament Square with an onion and a pair of socks. And we've got all these surrealist banners, not meaning much yet. What do we win what? You know. And I'm beginning to enjoy myself. Because the zone that this area applies to isn't just Parliament Square. It's much bigger than you think. It covers 3 London bridges going across the Thames. It goes across Hungerford Bridge, down the side of the South Bank, catches Jubilee Gardens, catches the big Ferris wheel, goes past the Aquarium, past Westminster Bridge, catches St Thomas's Hospital, goes along the embankment, nips up Lambeth Palace, where the bishops hang out, over Lambeth Bridge, catches the MI5 building, goes up Horsefree Road, does the Horsefree Road Magistrates Courts, catches Channel 4, carries on going up the Broadway, does New Scotland Yard, nips in St James's, goes up Horse Guards Road, carries down the top to Northumberland Avenue, up to Hungerford Bridge. Quite a large area. And so I thought I want to demonstrate there. So I go along and see PC Paul McAnally. Right, Mark. You want to demonstrate on Hungerford Bridge. Why do you want to demonstrate on Hungerford Bridge? Well, it's in the area. I know that, but what are you demonstrating about? I want to abolish footbridges. Well, what do you want to abolish footbridges for? I want to encourage swimming. And what are you going to do by way of your demonstration? I'm going to stand in the middle of the bridge and I'll hand out 1 leaflet, because handing out 1 leaflet counts as a demonstration. It does indeed! It does indeed, but do you realise I'm going to be generating more paperwork than you're going to be handing out? Were you aware of that? Yeah, I was, yeah. So then, me and my friend Tracy Mobley, who's an artist, we go down and start applying for stuff together. And PC Paul McAnally goes, right, you 2, inside, please, quick. Into the interview room. Right, let's have a look at yours. You want to revive the Twinkie perm. Fine. Because he's kind of getting used to us now. He goes, right, let's have a look at yours, Mark. Oh, good Lord. You want a demonstration calling for the immediate sacking of Superintendent Terry? Yeah, I do. You want to sack my direct superior? Yeah, I do. I've got to go and ask him if he'll give you permission to call for him to be sacked. Yeah, that would appear to be... Why do you want to sack him? Well, because of his implementation of the SOCPA law. We think it's in a particularly draconian fashion. Any police officer would implement the law in exactly the same fashion. No, other police officers would implement the law in a more liberal way. Who would you have him replaced with? You. We want you. Oh, Jesus. So he leaves. And suddenly this door opens, boom, and in walks Superintendent Terry, a man bigger than I'd imagined. He's holding my form and he walks right up to me and goes, this is genius, Mark. How can I turn this down? Well done. So anyway, it then occurred to me that if one person needs to get permission to stand with 1 banner, what happens if a lot of people, wishing to demonstrate about a lot of individual issues, want to stand with their 1 banners at the same time and apply to stand at the same time? What happens if we have a mass loan demonstration, as it were? Would the police be able to have the Bureau